cushy non-conference schedule, no doubt. They haven't really been tested a whole lot.
Yes.
They'll be tested more against Michigan State. Yeah. What would it take for Michigan State, in your opinion, to have a chance to make this a game and maybe even pull off a shocking upset? What would they have to do?
Yeah, I think ultimately they have to take the ball away and really be able to score points off of that. I think one of the things you're starting to see is just how vast this offense and multiple this offense of Ohio State can be. If they need to throw it, they can throw it. If they want to play big boy football and put 2 tight ends in the game and run it, they can do that. But I think when you look at their ability to create, and this is about Chip Kelly and what he's able to do with the pieces that he has, I don't think we've seen this offense really just explode just yet with all the different formations and personnel groupings that they can come up with. People try to say, well, Kelly he wants to throw it all over the field. He can do it all. When you look at his history, he has done it all in many different ways offensively. And when you have the type of talent that you have at Ohio State, and yeah, you got to get the ball to the receivers, you got to get it to the backs, you got to keep people happy, but it's about winning football games and also looking toward the future, right? They understand what they've played to this point, and they haven't had to really open up this playbook to be able to win games because they just have better players. I think now we're going to start to see that happen because now you want to put that on tape for some of your Big Ten opponents.
Emeka Egbuka said this week, we expect to score a touchdown on every snap from center. And then he paused and he said, unless it's a quarterback sneak or something. So he doesn't expect them to break the quarterback sneaks for 70 yards. But that's the mentality of Ohio State. There's so much talent. They're dripping with talent everywhere. And to your point, I do feel like it's just the tip of the iceberg because to beat the opponents that they played so far, they didn't have to do a whole lot that was particularly unusual. And I am interested to see what this starts to look like, what they want to put on tape for Oregon, for instance, to have to prepare for on October 12th.
And remember, that quarterback is still learning to be the quarterback at Ohio State. It's not just that offense we've talked about. It's just not about being able to play in between the lines. It's also being able to manage the pressure that's going to come with the lofty rankings that they're going to continue to have as long as they continue to win.
What about MSU? I mean, they really are. They easily could have won the game at BC. They're one bad decision away maybe from winning that game. Probably should not have thrown the ball into the end zone there at the end. And that's, to me, that's kind of what you get with a young quarterback, particularly one with as live an arm as Aiden Childs has. You know that in his past he's been able to get the ball into places that maybe others wouldn't try to get it just because of how good his arm is. But now you're facing better competition. And so that's part of the adjustment period, I would assume, for a young QB is figuring out, hey, those are windows I can get it in high school maybe. I'm not going to be able to get it in now.
And I think he'll have the attention, and his coaches will make sure that he has the attention that this is an elite team with an elite secondary that's going to be able to get to the football. And I think the other side of that is you think about just how athletic Ohio State is on the defensive side. You can't make mistakes. It's not about you being able to make mistakes. It's about making sure you take care of the football so that you can play another down. Do you need to be able to run the football and be effective? Absolutely. Is third and long going to be the perfect, or second and long going to be the perfect situation? Not a chance, because now when you end up in the pass situations, they're just going to be able to rush the passer, and that's not what you want a young quarterback to be able to do. This is going to be one of those games where he's going to have to be able to take a huge jump from a maturity standpoint at the quarterback position. There's some things you just can't try, right, if you want to be able to stay in this game. If he's dropping back, throwing it 40 to 50 times a game, in this game, the game's not close. That's not where you want to put him.
I thought Jonathan Smith made an interesting point this week. He said there's a difference between playing with energy and playing with reckless abandon. And you're certainly going to get the energy from Aiden Childs and that desire. But I think that's kind of what you're getting at, that you can't make bad decisions with the football because that, against a team like Ohio State, you already have essentially no margin for error. And if you give them the ball in situations where you're driving it, that's a recipe
not where you want
to lose. No, it's a recipe to lose. It's been a while since Michigan State has beaten Ohio State in East Lansing. The Spartans coach, the last time that happened was a fellow named Nick Saban. It was 1990.